And thank you to all of the witnesses for taking the time to be here. We certainly really appreciate it. Dr. Harper, I've got a couple questions for you. Just starting out, do you believe that ageism is a form of bigotry?
Yes.
You do? Yeah,
Okay.
I thought so because you wrote an article saying that ageism in media discourse about Biden's reelection is an issue. Do you still believe that ageism was an issue in the past election cycle?
I believe that ageism in any form and in any context is a problem.
Do you believe that Americans who were concerned about Joe Biden's age were bigoted?
I did not say that in my article, nor do I claim that now.
You said that ageism is a form of bigotry.
Ageism is a form of bigotry, but I did not say that in my article. You cannot misrepresent my ideas.
Okay, well, why don't you provide your explanation?
Let's hear this.
Ageism is a form of bigotry. People who were concerned about Joe Biden's age were ageist. How do you square that?
I'm less concerned about Joe Biden's age. I am more concerned about young people and older Americans being systematically denied opportunities and access because of their age.
Do you think that Joe Biden's age had a relation to his cognitive decline?
That is outside of my area of expertise.
Do you need to be an expert to determine whether an 82-year-old man who is clearly visibly declining mentally on camera, if that has anything to do with his age?
I'm not a cognitive scientist.
You're not? Okay. Of course.
Okay. Hold the phone here, buddy. Listen, there's some things that generally start to happen as you age. All right. Kind of regardless of whatever party affiliation you have here, whatever person you want to insert the name of. I personally think that there should be no such thing as a president over the age of 50. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when you're 50, you still have life in you, if that makes any sense here. Like what you're doing, you're going to see the fruits of your labor, let's say 10, 20 years down the line here. You're most likely going to see that, right? Versus someone who is 70, 80, 90 entering into politics for some reason, that has no ties to any type of base of people that are actually out there working, attempting to take care of their families in today's economy rather than the economy that they experienced when they were, 18, let's just say this year. I do think that you need to be closer to the overall median age of Americans, to kind of represent America in a better way by default. I don't care the party affiliation, but what I do care is that the person that is running the country has the best interest specifically for the people who are funneling money into the tax base at the highest rate. That's kind of what my opinion is on that one there, guys.
Do you think those Americans were right to be concerned about Joe Biden's age?
Again, you're missing the point. The point is about the ageism itself. Okay. It isn't about Joe Biden.
We're going to move on. Do you believe that America should be a colorblind society? For instance, should people be treated differently based on their race? It's just a yes or no question.
It's not a yes or no question.
It's a yes or no question.
It is as I said in the beginning of my testimony, America
yes or
has
no
not done right by indigenous peoples, by black people, by Asian American and Pacific Islander people.
Should people be treated differently based on their race? Yes or no?
People should receive the services and the support and the remedies that are owed to them.
That they should be treated differently based on their race.
They should receive the remedies that are owed to them because of the systemic racism and injustice.
Do you believe that race should be considered in employer hiring practices?
I do not believe that white people are the only qualified people for jobs.
I didn't say that. Nobody said that. I asked you if race should be considered in employer hiring practices. And you're not going to intimidate me by slandering me as a racist.
I did not call you a racist.
No,
you're not going to intimidate me by insisting that I called you a racist.
It's a straightforward question. It's a yes or no question. Should race be considered in employer hiring practices? Yes or no?
I believe that diversity ought to be considered as companies and other organizations attempt to reflect their customers, our country.
I'll take that as a yes. Which race do you think should be preferred?
I do not think that a single race should be preferred.
Well, you just said that you believe that race should be considered in employer hiring practices.
I don't know. There's going to be a transcript of this hearing. I didn't say that in that way.
Okay. Why don't you explain what you believe?
What I
Very
said
briefly.
and what I believe is that the demographic composition of workplaces,
Which
our
is,
nation's military,
by
and
demographic
so on,
composition,
our Congress ought to reflect the diversity of the United
racial
States of America.
demographic composition. Racial demographic, is that what you're saying?
Racial, gender.
Okay, so race should be a factor in employer hiring practices. Yeah, that's what you're saying, is it not?
Organizations ought to attempt to match the diversity of
you're
their.
hopping around the question.
No,
you don't want to
I am
answer
answering
it.
quite straightforwardly.
Who
As a
gets
matter
to
of fact,
determine which races are preferred?
Well, you're walking into this, right?
I already told you I don't have a single racial group.
You just told me
ought
that
to
you
be.
believe that the racial demographic makeup should be taken into account in hiring practices.
And it should be reflected in all levels of companies and other organizations.
Okay, let's talk about college admissions. If two different children are applying for college, let's say one is white and one is black, and there's one slot available, should they be evaluated based on the same objective criteria? Test scores, for instance.
Bro, just say yes.
Say holistic admission.
No, just say yes.
Held to the same
geez.
standards regarding test scores.
I am a proponent of holistic admissions.
It's just a yes or no question.
Yeah, no, I can't answer that question.
This guy's an imbecile, bro. All right. I don't know who this man is. This man's accent is weird too. But just understand this here. The answer should be yes here. All right. Like if you want to be able to kind of move on as this is society, basically, right, and not consistently dwell on the literal nonsense, you're going to have to understand that if this person is not putting their best foot forward, they don't have the strongest resume. Why would you give that other person specifically that does not have the same thing exclusively? Let's just say the same thing. Now, if they're identical, then I don't know, right? I mean, but you're not going to get me to go ahead and say that they should be in power or they should have that overall position of power, let's say, or position, let's say, for the sole purpose of the color of their skin. It's a little bit wild, bro.
And for you as a proponent of holistic admissions.
Got it. I'll take that as a no.
Yeah, that's a no.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
That's a no. Okay. What is this, bro? I don't know who either of these people are. Again, I don't watch things like this generally. And this is just absolutely frustrating here, bro. All right. Absolutely frustrating. I see here, guys, during the comments, during my previous comment here, you guys said 50 is too young. Is 50 too young? Like, I mean, could it be a little bit older for like more experience? Maybe, potentially, right? But I don't know. Whatever the age of retirement is, let's go ahead and correct it. Let's go ahead and recant it for a moment here. Whatever the age of retirement is, the average age of retirement needs to be the peak, the max amount, right? At least, because again, that person specifically knows, right? Maybe they know kind of like what's still kind of going on the planet right now. They're not so far gone after sitting in Congress for 20 years, or the Senate for 20 years, bro. They kind of still know what's happening here. No, but now this guy right here, his name is Dr. Harper. Okay. This is kind of where we are, I think, right now in America. Like, this is exactly where we are. This is the type of communication that both sides are pretty much having right now. And we're just like everyone is just talking past each other. And it becomes a moderately irrelevant conversation to kind of have in the first place, because it's like, dudes, what is this? What's the benefit of this? How does this benefit any of us? It's just gotcha moment after gotcha moment. This man here is dancing around literal facts here, right? He's dancing around facts. That's it. And then the other guy is like, no, just say the words. I want a gotcha moment, right? So I don't know, bro. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies. And I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings. And we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry, right? Listen, like and subscribe.